There's big breaking TV. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
And the glass shatters. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Primetime. I'm your host, Hunter Chambliss. I'm joined by my co-host, Chad and Carrie. How's it going, guys?
Hey, going well.
It's going great. Excited to talk about the future of horror, maybe some classic horror. We'll see.
There we go. And surprisingly, we're all matching again. Not planned at all.
No.
We just know good horror.
Yes, we do. We're all wearing some Halloween shirts. Episode 2 is now titled "We'll Be Back." I wonder why. But today we will be talking about 2 news stories, as well as breaking down the top 20 Scream characters in a tier list. So there will be a lot of fights going on, but let's get into the first news story. So let's start off with this one. Megan from Blumhouse, James Wan secures a 2023 release date. This comes to us from horrornewsnetwork.com, which states, Megan, based on a story by James Wan, is being brought to the big screen by Blumhouse Productions, Universal Pictures, and Wan's Atomic Monster. Nothing much new is on the film, but now Deadlight reports that it will hit theaters in a year, January 13th, 2023. The thriller, directed by Gerard Johnstone, from screenplay by Alakai Cooper, who wrote the screenplay for *Malignant*, which gets me very excited. Stars Allison Williams of Get Out, who's described as a brilliant robotic at a toy company who uses AI to develop Megan, a lifelike doll programmed to be a child's greatest companion and a parent's greatest ally. After gaining the custody of her orphan niece, Gemma enlists the help of Megan, prototype a decision that comes with unimaginable consequences. So this almost sounds like a Child's Play movie from James Wan.
Yeah.
So, guys, thoughts on Megan?
Yeah, I'm very interested to see what James Wan does next, because we've had from him horror-wise, we had kind of Insidious and those types of movies, saw like pretty classic horror. But *Malignant* recently came out, and it was really a throwback to kind of giallo films, 70s and 80s horror. So I'm really curious to see what direction he takes with this stylistically.
And not to mention, but Allison Williams, I haven't seen her in anything recently, but she was crazy in Get Out, literally. And,
Yes.
But she played both sides of that character so well. That was such a, spoiler for Get Out. That was such a big turn from her. And so we know she has range. I don't know if she's going to play this artificial thing, but if she is,
no,
she's not
playing the. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
So she's playing the mom that adopts the orphan. She works to create Megan. Yeah.
Well, either way, I'm sure she's going to bring it. I'm very excited to see what she does next. But it looks like we're going to have to wait a while. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, full year.
But yeah, I agree with everything Carrie said. I've loved James Wan ever since I've seen, technically seen the original Saw, but, especially since, he started the Conjuring franchise. And then when we saw *Malignant*, I was on the kind of love it side of the spectrum, because I know that one was very divisive. But yeah,
fucking weird ending. I love it.
So weird, but I loved how he brought the action into it. It was kind of like an action movie too. It's insane.
Definitely. So yeah, I'm very excited about Megan. I'm a huge fan of James Wan. You look at the Conjuring films, you look at Saw, as you guys said. Dead Silence is one of my favorites. I love that movie.
But shoot,
*Malignant*.
Even freaking Aquaman had some really cool horror elements in a superhero movie, which is really cool. And I have to get Carrie to watch that one with me because she hasn't seen it yet.
Aquaman's really good. I will say what gets me more excited is the idea of someone like James Wan producing and helping with the screenplay on a kind of child's play type movie.
Mhm.
Like the weird, imaginative like ways they can go with this just gets me super excited.
Yeah, like the way it seems that studios now will just let James Wan do what he wants and just go off the handle and just
Yeah.
whatever you want, James. Sure.
I mean, at this point, he's made so much money for Warner Brothers that they're like,
Yeah.
you can do whatever you want.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and
Speak-
we've also seen. I just wanted to add, we've also seen
Oh.
all of the franchises that James Wan leaves tend to go downhill right after he leaves. So,
I mean, the only exception being Insidious. I think Insidious Chapter 3 with Lee
that
Winnell
one
directing was really good.
I actually did enjoy Insidious Chapter 3, but not The Last Key.
Well, because 3 you had Lee Winnell, and
Yeah.
he's a really
Yeah.
established horror director in his own
Yes.
right.
Which
Absolutely.
actually gets me wondering if James Wan tried to get Lee Winnell to direct this film, because he did great when it comes to that kind of futuristic robotic. What was it? Upgrade.
Yeah.
That I feel like he would be perfect for a movie like
Oh
this.
yeah, especially the way he moves the camera and just can direct
And-
like that.
yeah.
Bro. Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. All right, so let's move on to our second story. Again, from Horror News Network. Scream 2022 tops domestic box office with a $34 million haul opening weekend. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It says the latest entry in this iconic Scream franchise was the domestic box office champ over a long MLK weekend. According to the Hollywood Reporter, taking an impressive $34 million internationally, the film earned another $18 million, bringing its global take to $52 million for the 4 days. In doing so, Scream toppled Spider-Man No Way Home from the throne after 4 consecutive weekends at the top of the heap.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. It took a little bit of the shine away from No Way Home, but that was also a great movie. But yeah, it's just so great to know. I mean, I know Scream is an established franchise, so you're gonna have those classic Scream fans to go see it. But I'm hoping a lot of, this one I felt like old Scream fans could love it. And then we can bring in new Scream fans and just new horror fans and just kind of maybe revitalize the genre for a lot of people to start going to the theaters again and just checking out these new horror films.
Definitely. Carrie?
Yeah, I mean, this is really exciting. Just to have a horror film in the top spot at all, and especially for it to be a Scream film, I know we're all really, really excited about. And if anyone hasn't contributed to that 34 million or 52 million, hasn't seen it yet, you should definitely go and see it.
Yeah.
Go see it.
And if you can, I mean, if this just means more Scream movies,
Yeah.
then it's always good news.
I mean, I don't see how at this point there isn't going to be another Scream movie. I mean,
Yeah.
it doubled its production budget in one weekend.
I mean, as long as these movies actually stay good, that's all I mean. Because I know some people are down on Scream 3, but it has the potential to be one of the best. I mean, it already is in our eyes, but just like one of the best, like almost objectively, like horror franchises ever. Like you get like one more good, great Scream film, and it's gonna be the one. There will be no topping it, really.
Yeah, because what's good about Scream is even with Scream 3, it's not a trash movie.
No, it's so
I
fun.
feel like every single Scream movie has been good. There hasn't been a shitty one, like a Nightmare on Elm Street or Halloween or
a Friday, which most Fridays are kind of not that
Although
great.
that is where you get into dangerous territory with it doing so well and having the potential for more Scream movies is you do have the potential for it to, fall off, be put in the hands of maybe people who don't care about it as much as
very much true.
True. And I will say this, I did see an interview with Radio Silence that said with Scream's success, if the studios asked them back, they would do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
Oh,
I would
that's great
love
to
for
hear,
them to
yeah.
do that again. Absolutely. I don't want to see, it to be passed off to some mediocre like like how it always ends up with someone will make something great, it'll be passed off. I mean, it happened with Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Like right away they were like, let's ride the success of this, and they just made it way too fast. I hope they take their time and kind of just like let us stew on Scream 5 or Scream 2022 for a while. And then maybe, I don't know, 2025 or something like that. Give us a new one.
I wouldn't want to wait that long, but yeah, like maybe 2023, 2024, something like that. Not 25 years, but like, come on.
No, definitely not.
We won't turn it into Twin Peaks.
Where everybody's like super old. And
Yep. No, but like, I'm super excited for Scream 2022. It was a great movie. We geeked out about it for 2 hours almost on our first episode. So,
did you see it again yet?
I saw it twice already. I'm thinking about going back for a third viewing.
Wow. We haven't had.
And I never do that.
We don't really either. We did for No Way Home. We might do it again for Scream. We're not really sure. We don't have a lot of time recently, but if we find some time, we might. Definitely gonna buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, definitely. So, Carrie, on a second rewatch, did this movie get better for you?
Well, we haven't seen it a second time yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it a second time? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll let you know, I will say though, I did notice a lot of different Easter eggs the second time around.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Cool.
You got to
looking at like who the killers are and stuff. And one Easter egg that I missed was that they hinted that Stu could be alive.
Oh, really? Okay, I gotta look out for that one.
Not to get into total spoilers again, but the same YouTube video that Richie's looking at, look below the Kirby video, and it says there's a video talking about, is Stu, the original killer, actually alive? Yes or no?
Super cool.
That's cool.
Super
yeah. So at a minimum, they gave us our little conspiracy theory.
Yeah. They did.
Cool.
They're like putting Easter eggs in there for us to catch every time.
I don't think we talked about it on here, but we sent around an article that Matthew Lillard was actually in the movie. He was, I think, on one of the YouTube or on one of the Scrab movies. He was.
So in the when Dead Meat shows up and they're watching the podcast about it, about Scream 8, the golden face. The ghost face, that's a golden mask. Who's doing the flamethrower? That's Matthew Lillard's voice, who's talking behind it.
And then Drew Barrymore did the kind of school intro.
The principal. Yeah, she's the principal in that movie.
Yeah.
So many Easter eggs.
I don't even remember that.
I knew I recognized the voice, and I meant to look it up later, but you found that article that said.
I'm sorry.
No. I mean, I meant like that was good because I totally forgot about it after I left the movie. It's one of those things
I may go back and see it a third time. I may give it a few weeks, but I'm definitely gonna go back and see it one more time for at least theaters.
Mm-hmm.
And I caught more details about why they're doing what they're doing in the third act.
Okay, cool.
And you catch more details. Like one of my favorite lines, and I know we're getting off subject here, but one of my favorite lines is how can fans and fandom be toxic?
When we love it so much and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
It's a good point because, like, on one hand, people are toxic about things and mean to each other because of the deep love. It's true.
Yeah,
but there's no excuse. Just be nice, people.
Don't be an asshole.
Well, it's kind of ironic, right? Because they're saying, how can fandom be toxic when they're literally killing people because of their fandom?
Yeah.
I love it. I love it so much. All right, guys, since we're on the topic of Scream right now, let's get into the tier list. You guys want to do that?
Can I?
Wait.
Yeah, let me go through my Sundance thing real quick because I wanted to do that real quick. We actually watched a few of these, and we added one more that's kind of horror adjacent, I'd say. Resurrection.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'll start with that one then. We We added one called Resurrection. That's at the 2022 Sundance Film Festival. And this one was actually starring Rebecca Hall and Tim Roth. And it was like,
What?
yeah, it's kind of an interesting little cast situation. But this one, I definitely don't want to spoil anything about this movie because it's kind of a mysterious. You don't know what's going on, and they kind of slowly start to clue you in. But I just want to say, I think Rebecca Hall especially, but Tim Roth as well, their performances, and then also Rebecca Hall's young daughter in the movie, I don't know the actress's name, they all give such great performances. This movie also has just like a really great, intense kind of score. And just the way, like, you're trying to figure out things with this movie, it's just really kind of creepy. And it has a really insane kind of ending. I want to say so.
Malignant ending. Malignant ending.
So yeah, I just want to say be on the lookout, especially if you love Rebecca Hall. I know a lot of people don't hype her up too much, but she's definitely an underrated actress.
She's so good.
She was in The Night House last year, and that movie
I gotta watch that.
Was also very, very good. It was another kind of mystery film, and she's just always bringing it because like you think about like horror films and you don't always think about like great performances, but then you get like an Elizabeth Moss and a Rebecca Hall and Toni Collette. And so you get all these great, and then Lupita Nyong'o, you get all these great performances, and it just really makes horror like an established thing that deserves Oscars and stuff, and not just this trash medium that some people think it is. Do you have any thoughts on Resurrection or The Night House or anything?
Well,
like that?
I mean, The Night House I loved, and if I'm gonna rewatch a movie, it's probably gonna be The Night House, just because the plot is a little bit more, I want to say, accessible. It's The Night House is still actually like a pretty difficult movie to watch. It deals with a lot of intense issues, but
on the level of like Hereditary.
It's not on the same level as Hereditary, in my opinion, but it's definitely a really solid movie that you'd enjoy. A lot of great themes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Resurrection's one to watch out for. I enjoyed that one a lot. And then we had Hatching by Hannah Bergholm. This one was also very weird. Maybe
that's what you talked about last week, right?
A little weirder. Yeah. I brought this one up last week. This was on the slate. I mentioned it. We checked it out. It's basically about like a girl who is having a lot of home issues. She's trying to be like a gymnast. She's like in like freaking middle school or something like that, or early high school. She's like 12. And she's trying to impress her mom, be as good as her mom wants her to be. And then her mom starts doing things that she's not so happy about. And she finds an egg that hatches a creature. And then weird things start to happen. I don't want to get too much into it other than that. But I really Carrie kind of disagreed a little bit, but it kind of reminded me a lot of Cronenberg's The Brood. So yeah, that's all I want to say. I don't want to talk about why. I really enjoyed this one. What do you think?
Yeah, this was I guess we will say we watched 4 horror movies at Sundance. This was one of my favorites that we watched. It is in Finnish? It's in a foreign. It is subtitled, but I don't think. Okay. I mean, I think most horror fans don't mind.
I think this was the Finnish one. Yes, it's a Finnish movie.
Yeah, but it was so good. I mean, this is a really. It kind of reminded me. I would say, if it reminded me of a movie, kind of like an updated version of Carrie.
Okay, yeah.
Very dealing with like prepubescent issues and coming of age, but also
mommy issues.
Yes, mommy issues.
Okay.
Yeah, but also note, people, listeners, watchers, please do not sleep on films just because they're subtitled. They're foreign. Please go see these great movies. So Hatching was really fun, and then we had You Won't Be Alone. And this one was directed by Goran Stolevsky, also a foreign film. I got the country wrong. It's Macedonia, is where it takes place. This one is Numi Rapace is in it. It's like a witch movie. This one was also very strange, but it kind of reminded me of this book that I've been reading called Camouflage. It's about like a witch that can kind of like take over someone's likeness. I can't remember if they had to be dead.
Well, we won't spoil it.
Okay. Anyways, they can take over the likeness and just kind of move around and like learn things and just like see things from different like perspectives. And it was a very interesting one. It kind of was losing me after a while. It got kind of dull for me after a bit.
See, I was kind of the opposite. I started off, I would say the first, half of the movie, I was kind of like, I get it, but I feel like it's being a little pretentious. But towards the second half, I don't know. I just really got even more into it. And I think, all the stuff built up in the first half of the movie paid off in the end.
When you kind of know what's going on, maybe a second watch will do it more for me. But yeah, what were you gonna say, Hunter?
So is this almost like a witch type movie where like it starts off kind of slow, but then by the end it picks up and you get like a lot of like coveting?
I would say actually it's a little bit more evenly paced with the horror than The Witch, but there's not. Okay. I mean, it is a horror movie, but it's not a ton of horror. Like
this one's
like elevated horror.
Yeah,
for sure. But I feel like this one's definitely nowhere near as good as The Witch for me. I mean, Eggers is kind of like on another level with that in the lighthouse and what the Northman, is that what it's called? Whatever his next movie is, I'm so stoked for it because that dude is amazing. But yeah, definitely. What was the other one? Speak No Evil.
Yeah.
I don't have the director of this one. This one probably had the most conversation about between Carrie and I. But it's another movie that leads up to an ending that's probably going to be very divisive. It's another foreign movie, but there's some English in it. The two couples, they're Danish and Dutch. And they go, anyways, they meet on vacation, and then one family goes to basically visit the other family's house, and so the other family's the host, and things start to get very weird, as I say with every horror movie, because that's just what horror movies are. I guess things just start getting a little weird, and then it just kind of like leads up to an ending. Like you're just wondering like what's gonna happen, when's the inciting incident gonna happen, when things are really gonna start taking off. So it's a little bit of a slow burn in a way, but then once you start realizing what's actually going on, I think it starts to get a little better, and then you start to remember things that happened before and you go, oh, that's kind of brilliant. But I will say, because Carrie and I were a little divided on the ending, I mean, I agreed with her somewhat because I didn't like the ending. I didn't like how it ended, but I liked the fact that it happened. Like, it was like, I don't know. It's hard to explain.
That's very vague. That's such a vague answer.
I'm trying to be vague.
It's hard without spoiling it. I will say this is a movie where it's an elevated horror movie, right? So the horror elements are, clearly a metaphor for
something else.
For something else. I feel like the best horror movies that do that, it makes sense both on a metaphorical level and also on a plot level. You can just like straight watch the movie and it makes sense.
So for example, like It Follows, you get what their message is doing, but it's also streamlined enough for all.
Yeah, I would say here the metaphor definitely took over to the point where I don't think the plot of the movie, I mean, it makes enough sense to work, but it's the characters act so.
I was about to say, stupidly. Carrie doesn't like the character choices in the movie, but I think they actually make perfect sense, but I'd have to give it another watch because it's one that you don't know what's going on until the end. Maybe someone who like can watch a movie on the first go and just go, I remember everything that happened. For me, it takes me a while I have to rewatch something and go, okay, that's right. I remember
Me too.
things that happened earlier on and stuff like that. But this one was also directed by Christian Taftrup. I wanted to mention that because I think he did a really great job with this one. And if anything, good movie, bad movie. I don't even think you would say this is a bad movie,
I would
right?
say it's a bad movie.
Just not the one you enjoyed the most.
Yeah.
But either way, it had a lot of conversation between me and Carrie, and it probably will continue to do so. So I hope this comes out big, people see it, and then they continue to have conversations about it because it's a really interesting film.
I do like I can't wait for you to watch it, Hunter, and for some other folks to watch it because it is actually it would be a fun movie to talk about.
It reminded me a little bit of like some stuff like The Invitation. I don't know if people seen that. It's like a Netflix.
Oh, I have. I
thriller.
love that movie.
Love The Invitation.
Just stuff like maybe kind of like funny games a little bit. It's like stuff that's like social situations and social awkwardness and like uncomfortable. Like the director even kind of admitted he was trying to make the audience feel very uncomfortable. So know that going in and then be like, okay.
It is, and this is one of the reasons I didn't love it, but it is very like when you watch a campy horror movie, you expect to be yelling at the screen about the stupid choices people make. You don't really expect that in this type of horror movie, but I mean, you will be yelling at the screen. Yeah.
So the characters are not that good. Got it.
I like the characters.
I mean, it's a part of the metaphor that they're trying to make. But
yeah, and there's like a kind of, I don't want to say anything more because I don't want to. Yeah, it's
all right. So when these movies come out, we definitely got to talk about them on air.
Yeah.
So
and
do you guys know when they're coming out officially? Have they announced anything?
I actually don't know that. I didn't look that up.
I know Speak No Evil got an exclusive Shudder release,
but I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be late 2022.
Oh wow! Oh, that's this year. Duh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're in it.
Oh, we're in it. You're in it.
COVID's been so long, they kind of forgot what year it was.
She's like, I've been writing 2021 on everything still.
Probably.
I do that a lot. All right, guys. So, those movies are definitely ones I'm about to check out. I'm very intrigued about Speak No Evil now.
I want to hear your thoughts when you see it.
I love divisive horror films so much.
Same.
Because I usually fall on the wrong side of those arguments.
Well, let's say we both fall on the right side of the argument. Everyone else is wrong.
Fair. I mean, I didn't mind Halloween Kills, so there goes my taste.
I'm on the other end of that one. But that one, I mean, we could talk about that one another time, maybe when we start actually talking. Because I'd love to actually rewatch the Halloweens. I don't need to rewatch the first one, obviously, but I'd really love to rewatch them again and then maybe do a discussion at some point because that'd be really fun.
Definitely.
Those. We could do a whole Halloween special, maybe even a two-parter. There are a lot of those. So.
Yeah.
But,
to be fair, though, and I'm getting a little side tangent right now, I didn't mind Halloween Kills because it delivered the carnage I wanted.
That's a lot of people say that's
so.
When people like it, that's why they like it. For me, I think I need a little more, but
I definitely agree, especially coming out of 2018. I get that.
Yeah, and even that one, I didn't love, but I like.
I loved it too. So
that's where we fall so far.
All right, so if you guys are ready,
Scream
we'll
time.
go into the Scream ranking. So I'm thinking about doing this. We'll talk about each character, and we'll all agree where to put them.
Yeah. So how I've done it before on these tier ones is we'll just go around. Like you can start, Hunter, if you want. You can nominate someone to put on the list. You'll say where they go.
Okay.
And then we can all talk about that character and just say where we think that character should go. Right?
Okay. Yeah, so since there's three of us, I think majority rules. So if two of you say we should put them in A tier, then we'll put them in A tier.
And if we all differ, then we'll just take the average or something like that. We'll figure
Yeah.
it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work. All right, so hopefully this screen share will work. It worked before. All right, guys, so we have 20 Scream characters. Can you guys see that?
Beautiful. Yes.
All right, so we have Amber from Scream 5. We have Billy. We have Charlie. We have Cotton, Derek, Jill, Kirby, Martha. Oh my God, so many characters. Hold on.
Is that
Mickey.
Mickey?
That's not Mickey. That's Mickey.
No, yeah, I said Mickey. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Tara, Stu, Sydney, Richie, Sam, Randy, Mrs. Loomis, and Mindy. I think I did okay with those. One stumble.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
All right, so we have S to D. So let's start off at the very beginning with Amber from Scream 5.
All right, so we're doing it that way.
Where do
All
you
right,
guys
that's fine.
think for Amber?
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. This is tough. She's a new character. Right now I'm gonna vote for maybe the middle. I thought she was a good villain, probably not in my opinion, the best villain we've seen in the Scream franchise, but so I'm gonna go with B.
I'm actually
All right.
also fine with going with B, and I think this will kind of color what B means for us, because I think Amber was a really, really fun villain. I loved, obviously we're all talking about spoilers again for Scream 5, but like she was a villain, and I love how the reveal of her being a villain is. I think it's like different than what we've seen kind of before. Some people think that maybe, it was obvious, but I also loved the way she dies is very similar to another film in which she dies.
Yes.
But I also just love
I love it.
how this actress is, Mickey, and she, or Mikey, whatever her name is, and she,
Mikey.
she was hilarious. She was like really unhinged and just like really flowed
Welcome
with
to the third act.
Yeah, flowed with the theme of the movie. She had some great lines, and she scared the shit out of me because she was such a wild card. So, fuck.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking maybe A. I'll say B for now.
I was thinking A as well, just because she is in my top like 3 or 4 favorite villains.
Let's put her in a
And
solid
that's
A.
second rewatch. You guys agree on that? A?
Yeah, that's good.
We can always move characters around.
That's the only thing is I'm like, we love all these. I guess we could put as many characters as we want and whatever.
I don't know if we're going to end up filling up the C or the D. I'm going to say that. But...
yeah.
Oh, trust me, I will find a place for C and D.
Uh-oh.
All right, so now we'll go into with Carrie's next pick. Is there anyone you want to go in specific?
I'll just go with the next one.
Billy.
Billy.
I mean, this is obvious, right?
S tier. S tier. Billy's like the best villain. The original. Man.
See,
how much more classic could you get?
I have a controversial opinion.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I think Stu is the best villain just because I love all Matthew Lillard before and after the reveal. Billy's great, but I feel like his before is so boring. And then the reveal is great, but the before is boring. But Matthew Lillard, every scene before and after, he steals the show.
Hunter, I was gonna wait until we got to Stu, but yeah, there's no villain in Scream that beats Stu for me in all of Scream. He's one of my favorite characters. If we at some point do actual like ranking of characters, he's gonna be in my top like 3 for sure. So yeah,
Yeah.
but Billy.
So
I'm trying to think because I don't want to put
go ahead.
everybody in S. But Billy, I would definitely put above Amber. Yeah, Billy's S.
See, I'd probably. Yeah, I mean, I don't mind that because he is so iconic. I was thinking more A tier, just if I'm being honest. I feel like the reveal was better than his overall character at the beginning, but I mean, S is completely fine with me.
Yeah, I'm definitely. I want to put Billy as S because he also has like some of the most iconic Scream lines, and just a lot of things are just modeled after him. I mean, the whole plot of Scream 5 just was all Billy, or mostly Billy. So
Yeah.
with his daughter. So yeah, I mean and Skeet, and if you know Skeet, like when he was in The Craft, so different in both movies.
Oh wait,
So he's
he
such
was in The
he's so
Craft.
good. Dude. Yeah,
Mhm.
he's very different in The Craft, and Neff
That's two
Campbell's very
movies
different in The Craft as
that
well.
Nev Campbell.
Yeah,
And they
Yeah,
were
I was like,
released in the
I
same
recognize
year.
that.
same here. Yep. Yeah,
Were they really?
Mm-hmm.
Billy's amazing. Yeah, not my top, but he's definitely up
All
there.
right. All right. Chad, it's your turn.
Oh, it's mine. All right, well, shit, bro. I'm gonna go with my favorite, freaking Dewey, baby. I'm gonna go with Dewey. I'm putting him S
All
tier.
right.
He is, in my opinion,
Yeah.
probably the best character in all of Scream. He just, for me, and it's going to be interesting to see. Spoiler alert again. He dies in Scream 5, which is heart wrenching. And it's going to be interesting to see how Scream even works without him, because he's so he's the heart of Scream. And you get to see him go from a lowly deputy that no one believes in. Everybody makes fun of him. Even his sister makes fun of him and says that, he's basically like, Fife or whatever, the
Barney Fife.
Barney Fife. And he's just like the little guy with the little mustache trying to be a cop and stuff, and then he ends up becoming that, and he's just so he loves the town, he loves Sydney, he loves like all the characters, he's just there for everybody, he's always doing the right thing, always there to whatever. But yeah, he's also a character, he has faults, he gets super
Especially in Scream
offended.
5, man.
Yeah, but he's at like a really low point in Scream 5, showing just how well-rounded this character can be. And like he gets insulted by Gail all the time, so then he goes and he helps out her the person playing her in Scream 3, and it's just, I don't know, he just has some of the best lines. He's just like some of the best like character moments, just the way he delivers those lines, like kind of closing his eyes and just like throwing out those lines, and just some of the best moments. And he's unkillable until this last movie, and I just love, he has just some of the funniest moments too, is Dewey. And it's just
Yes.
well, the one that I kind of keep always thinking about is when he gets the knife thrown at his head in Scream 3, and the hilt
And it just
hits him, and he falls down.
Yes.
It's just so much comedy with him. I love him so much.
Yeah.
They were forever.
Yeah. One of my favorite lines from Dewey is when he's talking to who's he talking to? Tatum, and he's like, "When I have this badge, you treat me as a man of the law."
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I agree with S tier. Carrie?
Definitely. And in my opinion, he would be number one overall. So that's what I'm telling you. S tier top. Whether or not that's everyone else's opinion. So I would put him personally above Billy. Would you agree with that? Or
Yeah.
No? Okay.
Carrie, do you want to add anything else?
I think Chad just spoke for 10 minutes about Dewey. I don't think I can add anything
say more
else.
things if you like Dewey. I'm sorry, I took up a lot of time, but I love Dewey.
That's fine.
Seriously, Dewey is why I got into Scream, and he is why I've stuck with Scream. It's just so it's going to be interesting to see Scream without him. I don't even know if
picture it. Can't picture
if
it.
there can be Scream without him. So.
I'm kind of thinking about adding a few more characters to this, just because I know we're gonna have like a ton of S tiers.
Well, when we were preparing this list, I wanted to go with a lot of the unknown, or a lot of not the unknowns, but a lot of the really small. I was going to do like Kenny the cameraman,
Kenny the cameraman. Let's go.
Fred the janitor. I was going to throw in a lot of these different characters, but
the one scene with Wes Craven.
Yeah, I was going to throw in Fred the janitor, Principal Hembry.
Hembry would have been good.
Yeah, but I mean, we wanted to keep it kind of small, so let's see how this goes. Maybe we can keep this and add on to it another time.
Definitely. All right, so I believe it's my turn, right?
Yeah. Can you put Dewey in front of Billy?
There we go.
Justice. Okay.
Justice for Dewey. All right, I'm going to go with my favorite character of the series, and that's, rest in peace, Randy Meeks.
Of course. Okay. Touche.
Yeah. S tier for me. He is the audience in that movie. He knows about horror movies. He references horror movies. He's hilarious. Jimmy Kennedy's best performance, in my opinion. And when he dies, you really fucking feel it in Scream 2. So yeah, definitely S tier for me. One of the most quotable lines. I quote his lines often around my house. My brother finds it annoying as hell. But just so many iconic scenes with Randy. So, guys, go ahead.
I agree. S tier. Randy is, after Dewey, Gail, and Sydney, he's like the other major character in this franchise, and it just wouldn't be the same without him.
Yeah, and it still hasn't been the same without him.
But I will say, Scream 5 did a great job trying to replace him.
Yeah.
The only one to replace him is his family.
I mean, you can sit here and kind of argue. I know people have different rankings, but it just hasn't really been the same since Randy died. I know a lot of OG fans were really pissed off when he got killed because of spoiler leaks and stuff like that. They weren't going to kill him, and then they just rewrote the script and killed him. And fans were so pissed off. And then in Scream 3, they had to do the Martha Meeks thing. And then also they make a joke about fans being pissed off about the Randy character dying in Stab. And, Randy, like you said, is just the voice of the audience. He's hilarious. Jamie Kennedy just does this perfectly. He hasn't really done much since, so it's just kind of like David Arquette. It just feels like these are their roles, and they just do them so perfectly. And I just love everything about Randy. He's so intense. There's a lot of red herrings with him that you think he could be the killer in the first Scream when you haven't seen it. And
the video store scene was hilarious, where he's like, "Oh, what is it?
There's no motive.
I'll be the first to admit, if this was a horror movie, I'd be the top suspect."
Yeah.
And he's the video guy that knows you just say a random thing about a movie, he'll be able to tell you what movie that is. And I love the scene in Scream 2 when he's talking about sequels and just telling everybody, look, the sequels aren't good.
By the way,
he's in a sequel.
By the way, Jamie Kennedy and Randy's character fucked up talking with Joshua Jackson's character about the "Stay Away From Me, You Bitch" in the movie class.
Mm-hmm.
Joshua Jackson's character was right.
Yeah. Randy's not perfect. Sometimes he gets the lines wrong.
Yep. Carrie?
Yeah, S tier for sure.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would put.
Oh wait, are we moving on to a new character? Is that what you meant?
I would leave
Yeah.
Randy exactly
Either way,
where he is. My opinion.
Yeah.
Right behind Dewey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Cotton Weary I see down there?
Cotton Weary's
That
on
is
there.
indeed.
Okay, I'm gonna pick Cotton.
All right, you going 100% Cotton.
I was about to say, how much of Cotton are you doing? 100% of
I
Cotton?
know 100% Cotton. I'm gonna go. I think y'all might disagree with me and put him lower, but I think he's a classic character. I think he's in the A tier, just because it's so amazing. I feel like they got Lee Schreiber to do. I don't even think he has a speaking role in the first Scream. You just see his face.
He does.
Well, I think he has an interview.
Yeah, he has an interview. And then he comes back for like 2 more. And I don't know. It's great that he's not Ghostface. He's not a total villain, but he's also not a good guy. And I kind of love just how his character is set up, especially in Scream 2. And then kind of we get to see this nice glimpse of Scream 3.
Yeah, I mean he's definitely a red herring in Scream 2. Because because you want him to get that interview with her, I think, and when I watch it, I do. But he's so aggressive about it, and stuff so like that. And he's very creepy. But yeah, I feel like he's a really great presence that we've missed ever since he dies in Scream 3. And he's just in that brilliant opening in Scream 3. I think it's great. Well, I don't know what people think about the opening of Scream 3. I really like it. He doesn't obey any of the traffic laws when he thinks that his girlfriend is going to die.
Where would you put him?
I would put Cotton maybe B tier, but I would agree with...
I was thinking B. I was thinking B as well.
I think B is great. I was struggling between.
But I don't know if I want to put him below. It's weird because I'm such a kind of a classic Scream fan. I don't want to put him below Amber.
Well, you gotta decide, A or B, man.
Then freak, I'm gonna say A above Amber.
See, the only reason I was thinking B was, one, there's nobody at B, C, or D, and two, Cotton really doesn't do a lot in the series. And I mean, Amber is a killer, and she has a lot of quotable lines in Scream 5, so I would be okay with Amber being over Cotton just slightly at a B level. That's where I'm coming from. Is that in Scream 1, he doesn't do anything. He has an interview. In Scream 2, he has his moment, but then it's ruined. And then in Scream 3, he dies at the beginning. I don't know. I mean, I personally would go B for Cotton, but
now, what do you think? Are you good? You still want A?
I'm down with B. Like I said, I was struggling between A and B for Cotton.
I mean, Hunter makes a good point, but it's just because he's prominent figure, especially in Scream 2.
Yeah.
And he got a great sequence at the beginning of Scream 3 that made me want to put him above Amber for sure. It's just he's a classic. Liev Schreiber, as Cotton. I don't know. Just throughout Scream 2, he's just a really great presence. But I'm okay with putting him at B. I mean, especially because I'm overruled, even if I'm not.
All right, so Cotton will go at the B tier.
All
right, Chad.
Right?
Mm-hmm. On to you.
All righty. Well, we can go ahead and get this one out of the way. Stu Macher.
Yeah, S.
I want to put Stu because he's definitely in my top. He might be my number 2 of characters in all of Scream, and he's only in the first movie, which is insane. But he's just like Hunter said, she's so brilliant in this movie because we don't even really know why he did it still. Like Billy had all the motive, but Stu...
Peer pressure,
man. That's right. But see, he has all these hilarious lines. that
Leave her alone.
he's just such a pushover, so impressionable. It's just kind of even just as scary as Billy, I think, just because like he would do all of that just because Billy told him to.
Yeah.
And a lot of the classic horror villains and freaking actual real life history say, I was just doing what I was told and stuff
Yep.
like that. And that's what Stu is basically, peer pressure. And he's got some of the funniest lines ever. My mom and dad are gonna be so mad at me. And you just have
I love Leave Her Alone.
Live her alone. And just like he's just such a fun presence, when Randy's going through and talking about, don't ever say I'll be right back. He goes, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back.
Yes, I'll see you in the kitchen with a knife. But yeah, like Stu, he's just the best villain that we've had in Scream because he's fun. And I feel like that's exactly what the Scream films are supposed to be, are just really fun. And so I would put him S tier, and I'd put him personally in between Dewey and Randy. But I'm fine with him being behind Randy if that's where. So I think we're all probably going to go S tier, but I don't know.
Yeah. Carrie?
Yeah. Definitely S tier. Yeah, I'm not sure. Definitely before Billy. I don't know about, I'm kind of not sure about whether before Randy or after Randy. But
I mean, I'd put him after Randy. That's me
I'm
personally,
fine with that.
but
I'm fine with that.
Do
So,
that.
like,
Let's do that.
Maybe right there. There we
Yeah,
go.
Perfect.
That's a good lineup.
That perfect S tier so far. Perfect.
And they're all Scream 1 characters. I mean, come on, of course.
So speaking of favorite Stu lines, one of the underrated Stu lines, in my opinion, is when Sydney's going to have sex with Billy, and Randy's like, "Oh, I think it's my chance with Sydney." He goes, "As if." As if.
Yeah.
I love that line so much.
I like that Randy calls him Alicia.
All right, my turn. Who do I want to go with? You know what? Let's go Jennifer Jolie. Yeah. Jennifer Jolie. What do you guys think?
What? No, that's your nominated.
Yeah, where do you want to put her? Well, I am, but where initially do you want to put her?
See, she's the best part of Scream 3.
Yes.
She is the best part of Scream 3. I'm thinking B tier. I'm thinking right in the middle, because all her lines in Scream 3 are the best lines. She has some of the funniest scenes, but I wouldn't push her to the A or S category. I think a B is a perfect place for someone like her character.
I'm right there with you, Hunter, and I would put her in B tier right after Cotton. I think she is really fun in the movie. I love that she plays Gail Weathers' character, and then I just love like when she gets so scared, like she just does some of the funniest stuff, like jumps into what's his face's arms.
She jumps into Patrick Warburton's arms.
That's right.
Has him carried like a baby. Just randomly out of nowhere.
And I'm wondering if that was even scripted. It might not.
I don't think it was.
I think she just did it, and he was like, "All right, this is happening."
I'm going with it.
Just a fun character choice.
Yeah, she is. I 100% agree with B tier. She has, a lot of the best and funniest lines in Scream 3.
Definitely.
And her name is Judy Jurgenstern.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was thinking of her actress name, Jennifer Jolie.
No, I wasn't correcting you. I was just adding that technically her non-stage name is Judy Jurgenstern. She had to change.
By the way, she has the best scene with Carrie Fisher in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. When she takes off the ring, and she's like, "What are you, a reporter for Woodsboro High?"
She's like, $50. What are you, a reporter for Woodsboro High? All right, Carrie, on to you for your next pick.
All right. Let's do another character I'm gonna nominate for the C tier, and that's gonna be Derek. You know, he's a nice
Ooh,
guy.
Jerry O'Connell.
Yeah.
Nice boy, but you know what? He really just serves to
He serves no
make a
purpose.
tragic death for Sydney Prescott and feed
He
into
serves
her
no
trauma.
purpose.
So
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm gonna say C tier for him. Even as much as I actually do really like him as a character, you know.
C tier is actually pretty damn high for me, but you know what?
You can put him lower.
I will say C might be the best option. You know what? Fuck it. I'm thinking D just because of that fucking lunch song scene.
So, all right. So let me weigh in here on Derek Feldman. I really like Jerry O'Connell. I wish he was in more stuff. I really like him a lot. I'm gonna bring it back up to put him in C for sure because I would like to put him in B. I agree, like he's not essential, but like I really like kind of like he's a really good red herring for a while. I actually
Is he
really
though?
yeah,
Is he
and
though?
I really love. Well, yeah, because like he gets cut, and then she suspects him again, and you're like, is this the next Billy, and stuff like that. I mean, Scream 2 is one of my favorite Scream movies for sure. Definitely one of my favorite horror movies, and I feel like he's a really great presence in the movie. And like even though I understand what you're saying about he's not the greatest lead, like he doesn't do much. But also, like on the other hand, when he dies like so brutally, like he does, I'm also like really upset about it. Like it really is a great. I feel like he's a great character because I'm so upset when he actually dies because I'm like, he was a good guy, and after Billy, I think Sydney kind of needed someone like that, like a good person to be with, and she never really got that until later with Mark, and yeah, and it's really sad. I really like Derek a lot, and he probably wouldn't have got killed if he wouldn't gave her his Greek letters.
I know, right? Which I don't even know if that's a real college thing or not. I doubt
What
it
if I
is.
started crying, like just like started?
I mean, I'm fine with a C tier if I'm being honest. I just feel like he serves no purpose, at all.
Okay. Well, then Derek is in the C because I said B, she said C, you said D.
Yep.
All right, I think it's your turn, Chad.
All right,
Yep.
let's go. I want to take Sam Carpenter. And
Ooh.
I want to put her in the C as well. I thought I was going to like her a lot more than I did. And I feel like her coupled with the weird Billy visions, it was kind of annoying. And I feel like her sister overshadowed her. And I know you're going to do it a lot higher, and I'm okay with her going higher, but that's why I'm kind of putting her in the C because I don't know. I really like this actress too. Like she was great in The Heights. And I definitely want to keep seeing her, but like I thought I was going to like her a lot more, and I didn't. I thought she was one of the weaker elements of the film. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe it'll differ on different watch, and that's the thing about watching a movie once and going like, let me try to understand these characters after one watch. But yeah, I'd probably put her in C. And let's see what you guys think. You probably will disagree with me.
I mean, me personally, I would put her in B. And I only say that because on my second rewatch, I was really moved by her explanation of her backstory to Tara in the hospital.
That's a good point.
And the way and the way that she had to not only convey fear, but she also had to convey this serious message that she had to tell her sister. And I think Melissa Barrera did fantastic in that scene, building up, and then at the end, she becomes really a final girl and really a badass with the line, don't fuck with the daughter of a serial killer. So I like the idea that we have a final girl with a darker edge to her that like is kind of could move the story forward, but also Melissa Barrera did so good in this role that I want to see more of her going forward. That's
true.
why I'm thinking B tier.
I agree.
Yeah, I would agree with B tier. I'd say she wasn't my favorite of the new characters, which is a little odd because, you know, she's set up to be the new main character of the franchise.
Or is
but
she?
Like you made a good point, Hunter, that I'm
Or the
excited.
new villain.
I am excited to see her in more movies. And I think that last scene where she stabs her, what the fuck is his name? Richie?
Her boyfriend.
Richie. Yeah, where she stabs Richie.
She stabs her Richie.
That was pretty badass, and I did really love that part.
Like 18 times.
And it really makes sense that the Ready or Not guys are the ones who
True. Yeah,
who
she
did
doesn't.
that ending.
She doesn't top Samara Weaving for me in Ready or Not.
Oh, that's very true. Yeah, but
you know,
that's hard to top, though.
True.
Man, that movie's so great.
All right, so
B tier sounds great. Yep.
Yeah, B tier.
By the way, two Screen 5 characters, and I put her in the A tier. Sorry, B tier.
Well, because S normally doesn't come before A, so.
Yeah, so I was so confused by that.
Yeah.
All right, so back to me, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, I'm gonna have a controversial pick here. I'm going Charlie for D tier.
Interesting. Okay.
Because while I like Charlie as a character somewhat, but he is wasted as one of the killers because Jill overshadows him a lot. I don't feel anything for Charlie's character. And he has one of the weakest motivations of any of the killers.
Yeah, I mean, like Charlie, I don't know. I really like seeing Rory Culkin in that role, though, because I mean, I'm just a big fan of the.
He does
Culkin.
good, yeah.
But like, yeah, I definitely wouldn't put him in D, but I probably would put him in like C because I agree. Like, even in like his little film club, like I think. I don't know. I think somewhat the other guy is a little more interesting, like always videotaping stuff. But I also do like that little connection that he has with Kirby, even though it's like sadistic. You find out it's sadistic.
I also feel like that was kind of the weakest point of Scream 4, though. Is like that's the plot point that went nowhere. We got no time to develop it for him being revealed as a killer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd put him in C personally.
I guess I'll agree with C.
Okay.
I mean, I could put him in either, but I'll say C because I do enjoy Rory Culkin. But I do agree he kind of like, you know, as a killer, he's overshadowed, like you said, Hunter, by Jill Roberts, and then even as like he doesn't even serve the purpose as like the movie buff of the movie because that's also filled by Kirby and by Robbie. Like you've got two other characters who are filling that role as well.
I also do feel though, and we'll get to Jill in a second, I'm sure, but like, you know, I feel that like when she both kills her like ex-boyfriend and then kills him, like she doesn't even go Billy way. She actually just kills him and she's like, no, there can only be one. Like, or whatever. Like I feel like that,
which I love that
purpose that he serves. That's really good. That's why I feel like definitely C for me.
Okay.
All right, yeah. I'm definitely fine with that. I will put him in front of Derek though.
Sure,
that's fine.
Just because he actually served a purpose.
Yeah.
I do like Derek more, but that's okay.
I feel so bad for bashing on Jerry O'Connell so much.
I miss Jerry O'Connell.
I do too. All right, Carrie, it's back to you.
All right, I'm gonna go with another fan favorite, original or key three, Gail Weathers.
Okay.
For me, she's an S
Yep.
tier. She's just a
Yep.
key part of this franchise. There's a reason she's in every single one of these movies.
You guys may kick me off this stream. I'm thinking A
You will.
tier.
Okay.
Okay.
Why?
I just feel like while I like the connection of Dewey and Gale, Gale's a great character, but I feel like Dewey's a better character when it comes to them two in scenes. I feel more for Dewey than I do with Gale.
So,
And whenever we get Gale by herself, I don't really care about her stories. Like I didn't care about her setting up the cameras in Scream 4. I mean, she has some good lines in Scream 1, but I'm thinking, I don't know if I can put her all the way up in S tier.
So I definitely agree with Carrie. I'm putting her in S tier as well. I would put her above. I would put her in between Billy and Stu, personally, because because she is in more movies than Billy. She's not as fun as Stu, but like I just love Courtney Cox's delivery and everything that she does as Gail, because she's such a bitch.
Yeah.
But we love that about her. And like when she gets punched in the face, it's amazing. When she like yells at people,
I will say,
amazing. When she fucking like she's so scared and doesn't really give a shit about Kenny, and she's just like, get the fuck off my van when she's driving.
she is so mean to Kenny, man. The 50 pounds overweight line will always make me laugh.
And she's like, I remember the safety that time, or I don't remember the exact line, but
yeah. I guess I remember the safety that time.
And then, like, in later movies, I just think the relationship between her and Dewey that develops is really sweet. The way he proposes is really sweet. And yeah, that's more Dewey's doing. But like, I feel like it's also like really cool because like, she wrote the book. If it wasn't for Gail Weathers, then we don't get Parker Posey's amazing performance that people love. So yeah, I would definitely do S tier for her.
Yeah, I'm definitely fine with that. I just wanted to give
Gail, dude.
my A opinion. All right, so
it's mine. That's right.
Our chat, yeah.
All right, frick. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Mickey. Why should I make it like Mickey?
Fucking Mickey.
Yes. I know where
I would put Mickey in A. Because he's definitely not as brilliant as like Stu or Billy, but I think, and I love actually both of the killers in Scream 2 as well. But Mickey, I don't know, it's just something to do with him. Like, he's really good at being both parts, I feel like. But then like when he's first revealed, just like he's so over the top as the killer part when you actually find out about him, and then he's like, it's gonna be sweet, and just like just the way he delivers lines, I just think Timothy Oliphant is just really great in that role. And he's definitely the Stu of Scream 2, and that's probably why I like him a ton. And I feel like Mickey's he's just. I also love his motivation where he says he wants to blame the movies. I think that's great. What say you, Carrie?
I would say C tier for Mickey. I think he's
really.
Yeah, of the two in Scream 2, I definitely feel like Mrs. Loomis has the stronger motivation. I think it's definitely like the bigger shock that because she's such a minor character before that.
That's true.
And yeah, I think just overall in the franchise, he's one of the, we just don't get to see him that much. I don't know.
I really just love the ending with him. I just think that's just the way he's so unhinged and just delivers his lines is amazing.
See, I'm going to vote for A tier as well, and only because, unlike Billy, I love Mickey's character at the beginning of the movie, before he's the killer, and after he's the killer. I feel like him trying to up Randy by bringing up all these sequels in
Very
the
true.
movie is hilarious.
Yeah.
I love the line about what it's like. He brings up like Terminator 2. He brings up Empire Strikes Back, and then just like the fucking dance he does. The passable part of the cafeteria scene is him just doing this the whole time.
Yeah, he's such
I
a
don't
good
know.
friend supporting Derek for a
Yeah,
while up
yeah.
until
Yeah.
he kills him.
And then
the heart.
I actually think Mickey's motivation was ahead of its time.
Yeah, blaming the movies.
Because
I love it.
Yeah, because right after this movie came out, you had a lot of lawsuits about video games causing violence, movies causing violence. You know, the Supreme Court going into it. You have court cases about it. That, like with Scream 4 with Jill,
Yeah.
it was ahead of its time with the motivation of the killer, which I think is better than Mrs. Loomis's, which kind of
I agree with that.
goes off against Mrs. Voorhees.
I do agree with what Carrie said about hers. Is her reveal is more unsuspected.
Yeah.
Unexpected. There you go. That's the word. But I love his motivation more, and I do think it's ahead of its time. It's brilliant, and I just love how he's like the trial's gonna be sweet. So there's not gonna be a trial. There's not gonna be a trial, Mickey. I hate to tell you, bro.
No, sadly. So since there's 2 for A, are we putting them in A?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you said C?
Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel like
think
we're
it's
so strong, it's still A.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
I don't
No,
think it would
not
be
S.
enough for anything to be. Perfect.
Not S. All right.
Right,
We on to me?
Yep.
All right. I'm going to go with one of my favorite characters of this particular movie, Jill Roberts.
Okay.
And I'm going to put her at the A tier.
Yeah, I thought you were going S for sure, bro.
Gonna...
But all right, cool. A.
No, she's not at that high level of S, but she is a damn good villain.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would say S. I love her. I love her as a villain. I love her, like, just her turn surprised the shit out of me.
I'm totally fine with putting my favorite character in S, so that's fine with me.
There's only maybe 4 left on here that I would put in S, so I'm definitely fine with Jill being an S, because Emma Roberts, I don't know about her as a person, but like as an actress, like she can do the unhinged role so well. She's definitely one of the best at doing that.
She has one of the best scenes in any Scream movie where she's just self-harming herself to the extreme.
Yeah.
It really props up Scream 4 when she does that. Yeah.
The cherry on the top is her swan diving through the table.
Yes, that's my favorite. Doesn't she
she stabs herself in the shoulder.
She runs into the wall to do that. That's right. She's so smart the way she does it and frames this whole scene by herself
sorry.
Yeah. And what?
She is the only villain of the whole crew to get away with her motivation.
Yeah, I mean, that's true because at the end they still believe that she was a victim.
Yeah.
She was a victim and a survivor.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm sure it was cleared up after that.
But
maybe,
she did get it for a brief, at least a few hours.
Her 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, 15 minutes of fame.
15.
But yeah. And Jill's also the only one, I think, to actually fucking kill her mom. So
yeah,
that's pretty badass and ridiculous. But
I love it.
Yeah.
All right, so we're putting her in S tier. Sweet.
Nice. Okay.
I'd put her after Billy, but yeah.
I'm good with her.
Sorry,
Okay.
she's before Billy to me.
All right, that's fine.
I agree with that. I'll go with Kirby next.
Yes.
I'm trying to decide where to put her though, because I do really love her.
If you say D, I'm kicking you guys off. I'm sorry.
No, I'm trying to decide between
Unfortunately,
B and A.
D, buddy. No,
I'm trying to decide between
you
B
got to
and
kick
A.
us both off. You can't just kick me.
I'm gonna go with B tier for Kirby. I won't be mad if she winds up in A. I think she's one of the more so I love Scream 4. I love that whole movie. She is definitely just the highlight of that movie, though. I love her character. I love how she interacts with the other characters and all her like quippy lines and everything.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd definitely put Kirby in A as well. Just because, like, yeah, I mean, she's the one of the characters that you really look forward to seeing when you watch Scream 4. She's one of the best ones. I hope she makes a return.
It's hinted at.
Just that scene when she's just like, you know, she's the Casey Becker, just, you know, trying to win this quiz to save a life. And
she names every horror remake,
rattling off all these movies, and you're like, damn.
One of them has to be right.
And like especially even when it's kind of unsuspected, and like, you know, she even surprises Charlie by being so smart about horror films. Like, she would easily probably dominate your horror league, Hunter. I'm sure Kirby would. She would.
She would. One of my favorite Kirby lines, and it's a sneaky one. Oh, I have two. One is when she's picking up, and she's like,
picking up what?
Hey, she's picking up Jill at the beginning of the movie. She's like, hey, you gotta promise not to kill me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yep.
And then what was it? During the party scene where Charlie's talking to her and quizzing her, and she immediately knows like Gunnar Hansen.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, that's a deep cut. She definitely knows her shit.
And also, I'm glad that the two characters, big characters from Scream 4 that we threw on there were watching Shaun of the Dead in the movie.
Yeah.
So that's one of my favorites.
Yes, I love that movie. So yeah, I'm definitely okay with putting Kirby at A tier.
How do you know we were watching Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah. So let's see. I'm gonna put her.
I didn't say your closet.
Yeah, that's good with me.
That's a great line. I didn't say your closet. All right. I believe it's Chad's turn, correct?
Yeah, Chad's turn.
All righty. All right, I'll do the boring. Well, I guess it's not boring, but it's obvious. I'll say obvious. I'll do Sydney S tier.
S tier.
You know, Sydney.
S tier, yeah.
Other than Dewey, Sydney, and Randy, but Sydney. Other than Randy, Sydney's there the whole all five, and she is she's not the heart, but she's the brains. She's the original final girl. She's one of the we'll probably have to do a final girl like ranking at some point because
that's coming up.
Because she's one of the best, I feel like, because she definitely she's so smart. And she she has to, like, not in my movie. She's going to do the double tap. She's going to make sure that, whatever. And then even in this one, she has, I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Of course I have a gun.
But yeah, she's Sydney Prescott. She is Scream. If there's any other character other than Dewey that is Scream, other than Ghostface himself or herself, it's Sydney freaking Prescott.
Yeah, so we all agree the S tier.
Yeah.
So the way I put her second to Randy, but I'm easily willing to move her up.
I'm fine with her at third. That's perfect. Where do you think?
That's fine.
Dewey's got to be first.
I think that's good.
Did I say something wrong?
No.
All right, so yeah, that was easy. Sydney Prescott, definitely S tier.
Hunter.
All right, I'm gonna go with Richie. I'm gonna put Richie at B tier with Sam. I just feel like he gets overshadowed by Amber, so that's why I can't put him in A tier. But rewatching the movie, what I love about Richie is that there's no hint that he's the killer before the reveal. You never know it, and it was a genuine surprise to me. I mean, he's a likable character beforehand. Like, I love all his scenes with Sam. I think they have great chemistry. I like the comedy he has. Like, he's watching the stab movies on Netflix just to get prepared.
Yeah.
I thought that was a funny ass line. Love the callbacks to his character too, getting slashed on the arm like Derek in Scream 2 and Jill in Scream 4. But what I love more about his character is that there's a sincerity to him when he turns. He's not completely crazy when he turns. He still cares for Sam, but he's like a soldier. That was his job. He knew what his job was. It hurt him to do it, but he did it. And that's what I love about Richie's character.
I do kind of agree that, like, I think Mikey or Amber in that role is more unhinged and kind of scarier. But Richie is kind of more down to earth. That kind of makes him also very scary because, like, you can actually see in real life, like, someone doing that, like, you know, maybe going and you know, shooting people up and just being like, you know, because they're pissed off at The Last Jedi or, you know, something like that. And you know, please be safe, everybody. But
please don't do that.
But you know, I really like Richie. I think he's one of my favorite parts of Scream 2022, and I think Jack Quaid is just like really kind of on the rise with The Boys and Scream 2022. And yeah, I love the betrayal of the boyfriend there. It's not the same as Billy was. It's very different. And then, you know, the way he meets his end is very brutal. And yeah, I love that he plays the toxic fan, but he doesn't do it in the way that Mikey does or Amber does because you know, he's more of like the realistic version.
Where would
Carrie?
you put him?
Oh, I would put him in A.
Yeah, I was actually going to say A as well because I actually liked him as a villain more than Amber in that movie.
Wow, nice.
Because he's so realistic and not as crazy.
Because he's realistic, I think his character before the turn is a lot more fleshed out than Amber's is, and he's really funny before he turns. And then also, I thought he was the more surprising one because Amber, as soon as you figure out it's Stu's house, you're pretty sure Amber's probably in on it. But with him, like you said, Hunter, I didn't really know until like right when he
twisted the knife.
Yeah.
And he has that like great, I love the part when like he's kicking everybody out and he's like, all right, saving your life. Saving your life.
By the way, I love it when he's like, hello, Gen Z.
That's right. Because he plays like the perfect like late Gen X and millennial.
Yeah, I mean he's
crazy.
late millennial, not Gen X.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying like, you know, he plays that like the blend.
He plays that Gen X character.
He plays the blend of the two as what. No, Jack Quaid is a millennial. I'm just saying he plays that type of anti-new Ghostbusters, anti-new Star Wars.
Got it. Okay, I understand what you mean.
Right.
Yeah.
By the way, one of my favorite lines that Richie has is when he stabs Sam and he's like, yeah, I'm sorry. I wish it wasn't me either. But man, man, it's a great reveal, ain't it?
That is. I gotta watch it again because like that. Oh man, yeah, the slow crawl he does to like.
Oh, dude, I was like, I was so happy. I was like, he's gonna get the gun, and then the knife went there. I was like, no.
Oh yeah. See, I knew when Sydney was like, "Oh, get the gun." I was like, "Oh, it's got to be him," because anytime
way-
Sydney's handing guns to men, it's not a good
Yeah.
idea.
He had a great line when he was going to get the gun, where Cindy was like, "Get the gun," and he goes, "I would if you didn't shoot me in the leg." He's hobbling down the stairs. All right, so yes, Richie in the A tier, right next to Amber. That's where I
Who's
put him.
next?
It's
know
Carrie.
me. Yeah. All right. I'll go with Martha Meeks. I mean, should we put someone in the D tier just to have someone in the D tier?
No, go with your heart.
I-
Don't put someone just to have in the D tier.
Well,
to be fair, I was gonna say D as well, but
yeah, I think. Although I do love her, and I love that they brought her back for 2022.
I love that too.
So, I mean, I'd be happy with her in C tier, but I will say D tier. She just kind of serves to like hand them a videotape. In 3, which brings us Randy, which is great. And then in 2022, she has even less of a role. I mean, I think she just brings.
She's just making tea.
It's just like fan service for us.
I gotta say, I'm actually like really disappointed that you guys are even thinking of D tier for Martha. I would be okay with her in C tier.
Right.
I probably no C tier because I agree with what you guys are saying as far as like her actual purpose is just to hand a videotape, but like her presence, she just feels so. She's the Randy that we don't have. She's like the conduit to the Randy in Scream 3. And she fucking just like takes over some random person's trailer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
how does that work?
Trailer was that? Martha? Damn. She just pops out of a
Whose
trailer.
trailer was that?
I wheeled an AV cart in here. And I'm gonna
Hey, why
Right.
not?
I'd put her in C.
See, I'm leaning more towards D only because I feel like she does less than Derek, and I'm down on Derek already. I love Heather. I love the actress, and I love what the character represents. I just wish we got more of her. If they were going to use her as the Randy conduit, I wish we got more of her through the movies.
I guess.
And I don't feel like she does enough to. What am I trying to say? She doesn't do enough and doesn't have enough scenes for me to put her any higher than D.
I just remember in Scream 3 we were just all like, I really hope Martha makes an appearance in Scream 5. So that's not a D character for me if you hope to see her again.
I guess that's true.
But
I mean,
fair, but like
I'm just trying to make a case for C. That's all I'm trying to make.
I mean, it's up to Carrie because I mean, I'm D, Chad C.
Right,
you're in between.
Let's just put her in C, but we'll put her behind Derek.
Cool.
Okay, I'm fine with that. No one's gonna be a D level. I love it.
I know, yeah. No one left is gonna be a D.
But what am I so
No.
We'll pretend it wasn't even there.
Man, I fucked up.
Everybody in C? What are you doing?
There we go. Not D.
Is it me next?
There we go.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we got 3 left. All right. I'll put Mrs. Loomis, aka Debbie Salt.
Okay.
I'll put her in S. Actually.
Wow.
I just love Laurie Metcalf. I think she's a very underrated actress. And just those freaking eyes.
That shocked me.
The Debbie Salt eyes just like burn into my soul every time I watch it. And she's just like, just staring. And I'm just like, oh my God. She's just so unhinged. And, but she's a Loomis. So it makes sense why she's so freaking
surprised
nuts.
the fuck out of me. I'm not going to.
And I do think that
I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I'd put Mickey in S tier as well, but that's for another day, I guess. But yeah, so I'd put Debbie Salt super high, just because I feel like I want to put everybody in the S tier, and I love Debbie Salt. She, yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna say
Carrie?
A tier. A tier for me. Just because I feel like the villains we already have up in S tier are, to me, my favorite villains of the franchise. Although I do think she is up there, and I do like her as a villain better than any of the other ones we have in A tier. Actually, I would put her at the top of A tier.
Well, I was
See,
gonna put her.
I'm the opposite.
I was just gonna say I was gonna put her at the back of S tier. I wouldn't say
Mhm.
she'd be in front of Billy or anything, but I'd be okay with her exactly where you said, either the back of S tier or the top of A tier.
See,
What do you-
I'd
what do
probably
you
put
want?
her. I'd probably put her A tier. Probably in front of Amber, or I'm sorry, in front of Richie.
Okay, so you
So
like
second
Amber better.
behind Amber when it comes to shock value. Just because, one, I like the motivation of Amber more. It was more original to me, and also the way she was revealed was also very unique and different. I'd put her A tier behind Amber.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just I'll never put Amber in front of her because, she's just mama trying to get vengeance out for her son,
It's
dude.
simple revenge.
Yeah,
Is the motive.
I
But-
mean, it is simple revenge, but it's been used other times before.
that
I
doesn't
just
matter
think,
to me.
me
But
personally, Amber had a more unique reasoning.
it doesn't really matter to me about the reasoning there. But I say me and Carrie kind of overrule it.
Yeah, that's
Right?
fine.
Boom.
Yeah. I mean, we're debating between
Boom.
like 1, 2, 3 spots.
Fair.
We're all
Fair.
like really in the same range with this one, which is pretty cool.
I'm interested to see where these next
Yeah.
two go.
Yeah.
All right, back to me.
Mm-hmm.
both Scream 5 characters.
Yep.
I love the way that happens. I'm gonna go with Tara Carpenter. I'm gonna put her in S tier. On a second rewatch, she steals every scene she is in. She is so good in that movie. Has the most quotable lines, the most funny lines. Is probably the heart of this film, and is the reason that this film is set in motion to begin with. Thoughts?
Do you want to go or you want me to go?
You can go.
I would put Tara in A. I definitely think she's better than Sam, but she's not, to me, to the level of anybody in S tier personally. She's not even to the level of Debbie Salt. I'd be fine with her behind. I'd actually be fine with her at the back of A. Maybe I'd put her maybe in front of Mickey. And I just think, like, I agree with you. She's so good in the movie, Jenna Ortega. She is definitely a rising star. And just that opening scene in Scream 5 is brilliant. I love that she loves the Babadook because I also love the Babadook.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like, she's also not really. She's not in it as much as like a lot of the other ones, I feel like. But yeah, I don't know.
Fair.
Yeah, I would
Maybe
say
recency bias is making me put her a little bit higher, but yeah.
Maybe.
I would say A tier as well, because I do agree with you, Hunter, that I think she steals the scene in every scene that she's in.
Yeah.
But I also agree with Chad, where she isn't given a ton to do in Scream 2022. I could definitely see her moving up if there are future movies in this franchise and they put her in the movies more. I could definitely see her moving up to that S tier level. I think for now, though, if she had maybe been, the main character of Scream 2022, I could maybe see doing an S tier, but because they put her as more of a supporting character in this one, she just didn't get, like, her character wasn't fleshed out as much as I thought it could have been.
But I mean, that being said, us putting her above a lot of the characters that are the main character, like Sam Carpenter is.
Yeah.
the only thing I agree. I probably put her a little too high to begin with, but
I
the
mean,
only
you love
thing
the
I will
character.
fight
That's
with
fine.
is I feel like she had a lot to do, and I actually think her and Sam are like co-leads when you really look at like they both got a kill on the killers at the end of the movie because she shoots Amber at the
Yeah.
end. So
Right.
I really feel like that she's right on par as a co-lead with Sam, and I feel like a lot of the scenes in the hospital did
Fair.
serve a purpose, like her
Mhm.
willing out of the hospital, and you see the pain in her hand
Oh
that she
yeah.
has to move with it, and you're just
Yes.
like, I
Yeah.
understand why she can't move fast. Like
Yeah.
that
Yeah, she
hand is
crushed that.
broken.
Yeah.
Like just the pain and fear in her face at the same
I
time
mean,
that Ghostface
I
is
was
behind her.
I
Perfect.
was surprised she wasn't dead after that first
I
scene,
know.
to be honest. Like shit.
Jesus.
Dude, she got stabbed through the hand, and I was like, oh
Ugh.
my god. All right, so yeah, I'm definitely fine with putting her in the A tier, but I'm gonna put her in front of Mickey.
That's good with me.
There we go.
All
And
right.
now our final character,
I would say,
Mindy Meeks Martin.
yeah, Mindy. I would say also A tier. I thought she was like a real delight in this movie. Yeah.
I
No.
think Mindy personally was my favorite character from the new movie, the new character, because through her we get to understand what a requel is.
Yeah.
We get to, she's like one of the most like meta people. She's a perfect substitute for Randy. She doesn't go up to the level of Randy, obviously, but she takes after her uncle, right?
Mhm.
Her uncle.
She takes
Yeah.
after her uncle so well. And I feel like
Oh my gosh, she's so
since this is
good.
kind of like a good throwback to the original Scream, like she just takes that and she gets to do the behind you
Yeah, that's so fun.
part. That's so great.
That is one of my favorite scenes in the movie. It's so
And
good.
then as soon as she like looks behind her, like, oh shit.
Oh shit.
She's just so good, and it's just so funny because like when she ends up like in the garage or whatever, the cellar, and then she's like,
Yes.
I could be the killer, you could be down
I'm
here,
the
and she
killer.
is with the killer.
Dude. What's funny is I actually thought she was the killer because
I did too.
they had that long pause, and I'm like, what?
And she's like,
Like
"Psych."
really?
But I could be though.
Sorry, but I could be.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
See,
really loved her, so I'd put her in A for sure.
Again, might be recency bias. I'd put her in like probably last of S.
I'd keep her in A. I would put her right behind Debbie Salt personally, but
Okay.
that's where I would have her. So you would put her right behind Billy and S. What about you, Carrie?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Really anywhere in A would be good with me.
Let's put her in A at the very front, in front of Debbie Salt.
Okay. Yeah. The only reason
Let's
I was
see
gonna say
about the
S is
average.
because I feel like she has because she has a lot of quotable lines in that movie that on a rewatch get funnier. Like when Chad is going out to find Liv, and she's like, "At least take a weapon with you," or like when Liv comes in and she leaves, and she goes, "No, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sit here, smoke weed, watch the movie, and maybe hook up with her."
Yeah,
I'm
she's
like,
amazing.
okay,
Yeah.
I agree. But I think like having
All right,
her
so
in
yeah.
S is going to make equal number of people in S and A.
I like that.
And then
Yeah,
look
it
at
does.
that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we got
Yep.
Dewey,
Exact same
Randy,
numbers.
Sydney, Stu, Gail, Jill, Billy, Mindy, Debbie Salt, aka Mrs. Loomis, Amber, Richie, Kirby, Tara, Mickey, Cotton, Judy Jurgenstern, Sam Carpenter, God bless you, Charlie Walker, Derek Feldman, and then
Martha Meeks.
Martha Meeks. I've said so many names, I was like, what's the last one? Martha Meeks.
I like
Yeah,
that.
that was me at the
That's a good
beginning.
ranking.
Yeah.
It is. No one got D though. I love it.
I fought to get no one in D.
If we had, maybe this was like a 30 tier character and we threw in a lot of people from like minor characters from Scream 3 or something, we probably would have gotten a lot
or
of
like
Ds.
or like Roman. I was gonna put Roman in there, but
Yeah.
I just couldn't figure out how
Roman
to put
would
it in there.
probably be a D.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I would
Agree
put
with
Roman
that.
in D.
Yeah.
So let's
All right, so-
maybe let's continue and we can like go through all the Screams and legitimately do every freaking character.
I don't know about that, but
That would
maybe.
be so
Wait,
fun.
We can't do that right now. We're almost 2
No.
hours
Yeah.
in.
Not right now.
All right, so
Definitely not right now.
before we end this, do you guys want to rearrange anything? Like put someone in front of the other, or do you think this is a perfect ranking we have? Because I'd probably put Mrs. Loomis behind Amber, so third down.
I'm still fine with her where she is personally. What do you think, Carrie?
I'm kind of liking how it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think,
We can maybe revisit it at a later
Yeah.
time and see what's up, especially
Yeah.
if we want to add new characters to it. So save this,
Yeah.
Hunter. Save this for us.
I
and
definitely
we
will say this.
we will
Actually, I do
revisit.
have one I want to change.
mhm.
I want to put Kirby ahead of Richie.
I'm fine with that. Absolutely.
I actually
I'd
like
honestly
Kirby.
I'd be okay with putting Kirby in front of both Amber and Richie. But if you want to put her in between them, that's fine with me.
Yeah.
I'm fine with putting Kirby third because she's such a
Boom.
strong character.
Yep.
Yeah. Awesome.
There we go.
I love
That's
it.
our Scream characters tier list, guys.
We did
Very
a
good
great
list.
job.
Very good
Yeah.
list. Let me say.
Yeah.
3 great Scream fans,
We
1
did.
great Scream character ranking.
Exactly. All right, guys. So we are an hour and 45 minutes into this stream. It's time to say where people can find you guys. Chad, Carrie.
All right. For me, I do a lot of trivia stuff around here.
Hello?
I'm trying to jump into Hunter's. What? Can you hear me?
Maybe you need to get back closer to
Sorry. So I'm
it's
all the way. I'm all around. I do a lot of trivia stuff. I'm trying to jump into Hunter's League. I'm going to be doing a horror match at some point for him, which I'm really excited about. I'm in a singles tournament over at TMG. I'm jumping back into the debate game over at Movie Battlegrounds over at TMG at some point. I also host a show with my buddy Dylan Randazzo over at the Dill Pickle Movie Network. That's his channel. We host a show called Picture This, where we every month we go to a year in Oscars history, and we talk about all the nominees for Best Picture for that year. We talk about the actors and actresses for that year, the year itself. We rank them. We have a great time doing that. We did 1980 this month. That just dropped. Next month we're doing 1967, and then the next month we'll be doing Oscars for this year for last year for 2021. And yeah, so it's a really fun show. This month we also had a guest. It was Dan Skip Allen, veteran of the fan leagues, but also a critic.
My boy.
So it was really fun chatting with him for 1980. That was a really great time. Over on like my own kind of channel, I'm trying to get more videos on there. Chadwick Webb, we do rankings of stuff. We did Harry Potter, which I have to drop soon, Christmas. And then we did Edgar Wright, and we're going to do Denis Villeneuve at some point. Really excited to get those out. I think that's about it. I've talked a lot today.
Yeah, if you want to see pictures of our 5 cats, you can follow me on Instagram at CarrieElizabeth17. That's about it.
And both Chad and Carrie are writers for the Movie Tree Challenge, so thank you guys for stepping up and saving me a lot of time because, man, writing all those questions would be a pain by myself.
Yeah, we just got done writing half of your match. So
Oh shoot, I haven't helped with that. So
no, I did everything.
Oh.
Well, I didn't do I didn't do
You
round
and
one,
Corey.
but yeah, us two.
That is fine. All right, guys, if you did enjoy this, hit that like button, subscribe to Nerd Entertainment Network down below. Thank you guys for watching. See you guys soon. Peace.